everyone, so today is going to be a talk through video. Bear with me, this is the first video that I'm going to do that I've ever done that is a talk through video. Don't mind the hair, I just cut it not too long ago. It's a little shorter on the back, and today's one of those days that it's just doing whatever the heck it wants to do. So now that I got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get it. So as always, I have already moisturized my face, and I am going to prime, and for that I'm going to be using the POREfessional Matte Rescue, and it's this little guy right here. So I'm just going to grab that, and I am going to apply it pretty much everywhere, but focusing, you know, on the large pore area. I tend to break up a lot in this zone. I don't eat chocolate. I gave up on chocolate. But I don't think it's chocolate. I think it's more stress. I can't have my job can actually be kind of stressful at times. Alrighty. And I am just going to add any chapstick that you guys have or any lip balm to the lips just to hydrate them. Alright, so now to the foundation, I'm going to be using the Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream in the shade Nude, and that's this little guy right here. And I'm just going to pop that on the back of my hand, and I am going to apply this with a little brush. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit of that foundation in the back of my hand, like I said before. And then I'm also going to add a few drops of the Sephora Radiant Luminescent drops, this guy right here. Just to give it a little bit of shine, you know. And like I said, I'm going to get a little brush and just mix that, and then just pretty much apply it everywhere in my face. I try to focus more on my chin just because, like I said, I've been breaking out and I have some marks because I'm really bad. I dig on them. I know I shouldn't, but sometimes I cannot resist it. Alright. I know it looks like a lot, but it's actually not that much. And then I'm going to go with my beauty blender, with a clean beauty blender, like mine, you know. And I'm just going to blend, blend, blend. I'm going to make sure I blend really well and I get close to my hairline. I don't want to have a space. Next, I'm going to do my eyebrows, and my eyebrows are pretty full. I just pretty much need to like fill in those spots, you know, crazy spots that I'm missing some hair, or try to even them out. And for that, I'm going to be using the Brow from Benefit Cosmetics, and I use the number 2. 2 reminds me of a co-worker. Every time I say that number, she makes fun of me. So it comes with a little brush, but I actually never use the brush. I feel like it's too small for me. Especially, like I said, because my eyebrows are pretty dense. So that little brush doesn't really help me. It's too soft. So excuse the brush, okay? It is pretty dirty. It's my favorite brush. It's actually a brush from Sally, I believe. It's one of my favorite ones. The bristles are pretty hard. So again, with me having a lot of eyebrows already, it's better because it gets in those areas where I have a lot of hair and it doesn't leave a spot. I'm just going to fill them in. This is my problem child. This one is always different than the other one. Alright, and to set my eyebrows, I am going to be using a clear brow gel from Anastasia in Beverly Hills. I only have, I believe this is a sample size. My brother actually got this for me and I've been in love with it ever since, so I'm just gonna go with clear. And since I have very long eyebrows, they tend to go down like sad puppies. So I just have to like kind of brush them up, but not the whole way up, because again, they're pretty long, so they can tend to go crazy. Alright, so that's done. I am not going to clean under my eyebrows. You know what? We are going to clean under the eyebrows. I thought I could get away with it, but I do need to get my eyebrows on. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of concealer on the back of my hand, and with a small brush, I'm just going to clean that real quick. Eyebrows are done. Next, I am going to be using Shadow Insurance, and this actually came in the kit with the Nikki Tutorials palette that she had in collaboration with Too Faced. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that. Alright, so again, I'm just gonna put it on my fingers. And yeah, I'm just gonna put it on my finger. That's right. I'm just going to dot it all over my eyelid. Alright. And then I'm just going to use, I don't know, what are we going to use? I am going to use Charmer from the Tartelette and Bloom palette. The shade right there. And I'm just going to apply that all over my eyelid. And that is just going to help us, again, blend everything nicer. But you have to make sure that you're actually covering your entire eyelid, or whenever you're blending, it's going to be like patchy. This happened to me. So just try to cover all, and you can still see those. Next, I'm going to get a kind of a fluffy brush. I'm going to use a fluffy brush, and I am going to go into, Raw Sienna from the Renaissance palette. Now I'm just going to apply that all over my crease, and I'm not being careful either. I'm just going to use that pretty much as a transition shade. Again, not being careful at all, not being precise, just, you know, blending the thing. I'm blending all up in there. And now that we have all that blended out, and again, like I said, I'm not being precise. I'm just still making sure that I don't have any harsh lines. I'm just gonna go in with another brush. And next, I am going to use, I want to go into, I don't know if this is Leader. I want to say it's Leader. Sorry, I always butcher up. God. So if I did say it wrong, I will be adding everything down below, okay? So I'm just gonna take that nice dark color, and I'm going to add it all over my lid. And with the same brush, I'm just gonna like blend in the top, blending like the edge so that it's not as rough. See what I'm talking about? And then I'm going back into the same brush that I was using to add my transition shade, and I'm just going to blend both colors together. I didn't get any more shadow. I just used whatever was left and kept blending. Okay, so my camera decided that it was going to stop recording. So again, all I did was I used, it really bothers me, but I used the shade leader and I just applied it in my eyelid, again making sure that I'm really close to my lash line because we don't want that gap in between. And with the same brush, I just kept blending upwards to make sure that there is no harsh lines. And if you see that it's not blending correctly, or that you still have that color like divided, just go in with the same brush that you used to put the shade in your crease and just blend in between. And like I said, well, I don't know if it recorded or not. Sorry if I'm repeating myself, but again, it stopped recording. It looks really messy, but it's okay. We're going to use the concealer to clean that. That's why I didn't apply the concealer. I was going to leave it this way. Kind of like it this way. But I'm just going to add a little bit of color. And for that, I'm going to use... See, I got this in my Ipsy bag. But I don't even know the brand. Oh, here it is. Jelly Pong Pong? That's what it sounds like it. Neapolitan palette. So, I don't know the names. It doesn't have any name on the back or anything. No, sorry guys. So again, it came in my Ipsy bag, so I'm just going to use this shade right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a flat brush. Where is my flat brush? And I am going to pat this. I'm going to pat it. I'm going to pat this, and I'm going to be patting this in the middle of my eyelid. I'm actually going to mix these two colors because I don't want it to be too light. I wanted to keep it dark, but I don't know how much this will show. So I'm just mixing and see what comes out. Sorry if I keep looking this way, but that's how I know if my camera is still recording. Oh, so it's pretty. So I'm going to apply that in the middle and then just gonna like blend it out, you know, nothing too crazy, just a little bit. And then I'm just going to add another shade on my brow bone. That's the word, brow bone. And for that, I am going to be using, I don't want to use a white, just going to, because, you know, it's pretty dark, so I don't want to have like crazy colors going on. But you know, just to clean it up a little bit. And I'm using Flower Child from my Tarte palette, Tartelette. I'm going to move into my concealer. And I'm not going to use something really light just because we're going to have bold eyes and bold lips. So I don't want to have that bam in your face. If you like it, you can use whatever you want. I'm just going to use my Fit Me Concealer from Maybelline. And I am using the shade Sand Sable. I'm almost out of it, so that's why I'm struggling. So I'm just gonna apply it like usual, and I'm gonna drag a little bit up just so that it helps us clean any fallout that we might have. and if it's a little messy. And this concealer is actually really good, and it's very affordable as well. And for that, I'm going to be using my beauty blender as well. So just blend, and I don't get too close. Well, sometimes I do, but I try not to get too close to my lower lash area because I tend to crease a lot. It doesn't really matter what I do. I still crease a lot, so. And I don't really contour my nose, so I just like to apply the concealer as close, making sure I blend everything out nicely. Okay, dragging that concealer up to the sides of my nose, and then just blending in the middle. Alright, and for my lower lash line, I don't want to go with anything too crazy. So I think I'm just going to use burnt orange. I'm going to start with burnt orange and see how that looks. I don't want to apply something too dark. If this doesn't work, then we can, you know, change it up. Alright, so it's a little bit too orangey for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some of the first shade that I use. So leader again. And I know I said I didn't want something dark, but it's just, I think it's gonna look better. Yep. Loving it already. And I'm just keeping that color really close to my lash line. I'm not really dragging that a lot. Again, because we already have a really bold color on our eyelid. And I'm not dragging that to the inner corner of my eye either. I'm gonna go in with a lighter color in there. All right, moving on. I'm going to apply my lashes, and that, my friends, I have to do off camera. I cannot apply my lashes on camera to save my life. So for my lashes, I'm just going to be using, I just bought this one recently. They are from Salon Perfectly Natural, and they are number 45. They're really wispy and separated. I've never used them before, so I'm going to try them and see how they look. So I'll be back. Alright guys, so while off camera, I added a wing line as well, and I changed the lashes. I went with my wispy lashes from Ardell. I think the other ones were a little bit, they're pretty, but for this look I wanted something a little bit more heavy. And I also forgot to set my concealer when I applied it. So for that I use, sorry about that. People, they don't know that I'm busy. My Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder. So I use that to set my concealer. I'm just going to jump into my face one more time, and I'm going to use, what should we use? We're gonna, you can't go wrong with this one, right? I know I use it in every video, but I really like it. I'm not gonna add, oh gosh, should I add a blush? Embellish, I guess it is, from Tarte. And I think this was only seasonal. I bought them a little while ago. If I find them, I will link them down below. If not, then I apologize. But if you have it, then just use it. And I'm only gonna apply a little bit, nothing too crazy. I like when we say nothing too crazy and next thing you know, it's like you're covered in colors and blush. And then I'm just going to blend it all nicely together. And for my highlight, I am going to be using Champagne Pop. If I can locate it, here it is. I always use it. I always say to myself that I'm going to use something different, and that never happens. Just look at that. Isn't it just gorgeous? So I'm just going to apply that pretty much. And for the inner corners of my eyes, I'm actually going to go into Gilded Honey from EIRLgw. Dark, nothing crazy. I want to keep it nothing crazy, but just a little pop right there. To add some mascara to my top lashes as well, just to kind of blend them together with my falsies, just so they're not peeking through and they're not just plain and you can tell. I mean, obviously you can tell that I'm wearing falsies, but you know what I mean. You get the concept. Alright, and for the lips, I am going to be using, I don't know if this is too dark, but I want to use Damned by Kat Von D, and this is dark shade. It might be a little too dark, but I'm just gonna go for it. Alright, that's the lip color, and to set it off, I'm just going to use my makeup setting spray, Oil Control makeup setting spray from Urban Decay. Alright, loves, Alright, loves, and that concludes this look. I went for a bold color. Of course, you can use some nude colors. I really like how it looks. Again, it's a fall look, so I know we're ready to get all those dark shades and those Bambi looks out. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you like it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe, and if you have any suggestions, just leave me a comment down below. Remember, all the products that I use will be linked down in the description down below. Once again, thank you for watching, and until next time.